Hello mga ka-learners! Welcome back again sa ating YouTube channel, Teacher Ako. In this video, we will be talking about the review of related literature. Kung ready na kayo, let's start! So, syempre, popromote muna natin ang ating YouTube channel, Teacher Ako. Kung ikaw ay hindi ka pa nakasubscribe, click mo naman yung subscribe button at yung notification bell para updated ka sa mga latest uploads natin. So now, let's start! So first, when we say review of related literature, this is a critical section of our research paper, thesis, or dissertation that surveys and synthesizes existing research, theories, and findings related to our research topic. So this section of our paper provides an overview of what has already been studied in the field. Also, it identifies gaps in the literature and it situates your research within the broader academic context. So, yun yung pinaka-target ng ating RRL. So, what are the purposes of related literature? To further enrich our knowledge about this section of our paper, meron tayong kailangan tandaan. Una, contextualization. So what do we mean by this? So the RRL, or the Review of Related Literature, provides context or situation for your research by showing how your study fits into the existing body of knowledge. It helps readers understand the background of your research problem and why it is important. Yun yung una. Pangalawa, identification of gaps. So by reviewing existing literature, you can identify gaps, inconsistencies, or areas where more research is needed. This helps justify the need for your study. Ito yung isa sa mga importanteng part ng ating RRL para makita natin na there is a need to pursue the topic that we would like sa research. Pangatlo, theoretical foundation. So the review of related literature often includes a discussion of relevant theories or models that underpin your research, or it has something to do with your research topic. This theoretical framework guides your study's design and interpretation of results. Pang-apat, avoiding duplication. So a thorough literature review ensures that your research is original and does not duplicate previous studies. It shows that you are building on, or rather than repeating, existing knowledge. So the topic may be similar to the previous one, but when you conduct your research through this review of related literature, we will see the difference of the previous topic done before through a research and the current topic that you are conducting in your research. And lastly, guiding methodology. The RRL can inform your research design and methodology by highlighting the methods used in previous studies, their strengths, and their limitations. So iyan, magkakaroon tayo ng idea kung paano natin ikakonduct ang study natin that may be related, similar, or connected to the previous studies conducted. So ayan yung mga 5 purposes na kailangan nating tandaan bakit natin kinakonduct or bakit kailangan meron ng review of related literature ang ating study. So ano naman ang mga components ng ating review of related literature? So kung gagawa na tayo ng part na to ng ating thesis, ito dapat ang content, ang part ng ating parts ng ating review of related literature. 4 yung parts niya. We have the introduction, the body, the synthesis, and the conclusion. So, ano yung ilalagay natin sa introduction ng ating review of related literature? So, this one briefly introduce the scope and purpose of the literature review. Ano yung ine-encompass niya? At also, mini-mention dito yung outline the main themes or topics that will be covered. I-mention mo dito yung mga topics, i-outline mo dito yung mga themes na related sa research topic mo, na i-cover mo sa research mo. Yun yung unang part ng ating RRL. Pangalawa, yung body nito. So yung body natin, syempre, papasok dito yung chronological organization o yung tinatawag sa research term, tinatawag natin to as thematic organization. So in this part, we organize the literature review either by themes or by topics or in chronological order. Ibig sabihin ng chronological order, yung sequence sila in sunod-sunod, in degree of importance. Kung alin yung mas importante, ina-arrange natin yan chronologically. Pangalawang part ng ating body of RRL will be discussion of your key studies. So in this part, you will be summarizing or discussing key studies related to your topic. You will be highlighting their findings, methodologies, and contribution to the field. Yung mga topics na to, yung mga related study na to na kinonduct before, na kung saan makikita mo dito yung mga result nila, yung methodology na ginamit nila sa study nila, at kung ano yung na-contribute nila sa field. Dito mo na ilalagay yung mga nakita mong studies na related sa topic mo. Pangatlo, identification of gaps. In this part of your body, you will be pointing out here the gaps in this existing literature that your research will address. Ano yung gap na nakita mo based on your readings? Ano yung gap na gusto mong i-address sa study mo? Dito mo na i-mention sa body ng iyong RRL. At ang pangapat, theoretical framework. At this point, you will be discussing any relevant theories or models that relate to your research. Meron bang existing theories na related na pwede nating makuhanan ng info regarding sa ating topic of research? Yan yung pangalawang part ng ating research related review of related literature. Yun yung body. So tatandaan, sa body natin may 4 tayong kino-consider. Okay? Una, yung chronological organization. Pangalawa, discussion of case studies. Pangatlo, identification of gaps. At pang-apat, theoretical framework. Sunod-sunod dapat yan sa ating body for our RRL. Next, pangatlong part ng ating RRL will be the synthesis. At this point, you will be integrating now the findings from different studies to create a cohesive narrative. When we say cohesive narrative, mga ka-learners, we are talking about interconnectedness of these findings. Dapat consistent tayo sa pag-connect sa mga ito. So meron mga, alam ko sa EAPP natin or sa ibang mga subjects natin, na-mention na ito yung mga, kung papaano natin i-connect yung ideas from one idea to another idea. Dapat congruent sila sa isa't isa. Okay? Hindi pwedeng nakita mo yung study na to, i-connect mo na agad, hindi mo man binasa yung content, nung binasa mo pala yung content, magkaiba yung pino-point out nila. Dapat babasahin natin ng maayos yung mga nakuha nating studies, yung mga findings nila, tapos i-connect natin sila using appropriate transition signals. Okay? Next. Sa synthesis natin, meron din dapat dito na part na you will be showing how the studies relate to each other and your research questions. So, syempre bago natin ikakonduct ang ating RRL, meron na tayong mga established research questions na na-form from our research objectives. So, kung naguguluhan pa kayo sa ating research questions and research objectives, meron akong ginawang tutorial dito sa YouTube channel natin on how to craft research questions. Okay, i-search nyo lang yung statement of the problem na video na ginawa ko. Nandoon sa video na yon kung paano tayo gagawa ng mga research questions na naka-align sa ating research objectives. At last, ito na yung pang-apat na part ng ating review of related literature. Ito na yung conclusion. Okay, at this point, based on the term itself conclusion, you will be summarizing the key points from the literature review. Also, you will be reiterating the gaps or areas for further research that your study will address. So when we say reiterate, we are talking about you will be retelling. Yan, i-mention mo ulit bakit kailangan ng further research on that certain topic. Kaya ulitin mo. Na-mention na yun sa una, pero at this point, parang i-strengthen mo bakit siya kailangan pang i-study. Bakit pa kailangan i-continue yung research na yon. Okay? At lastly, syempre yung transition into your research problem. Ito yung pinaka-last part ng ating RRL. Dapat ma-mention dito yung ating research problem, objectives, and our hypothesis. para makita natin dito yung mga claims na gusto mong mapatunayan or makuha as part of your results at the end of your study. I-mention mo dito ulit. So, uulitin ko, ito yung 4 parts ng ating review of related literature. So, we have the introduction, the body, the synthesis, and conclusion. So, as I move forward, no worries, magbibigay ako ng example. So, syempre, let's talk about the importance of RRL. Kanina yung purpose niya, ngayon naman yung importansya niya. Bakit naman to importante when we conduct our research? So una, it establishes credibility. Because in your research, this one demonstrates that you have a deep understanding of the field and are familiar with the existing research. Siyempre, hindi lang tayo puro copy-paste ng copy-paste kasi mapaplagiarize tayo mga ka-learners. Dapat binabasa natin yung mga kinukuha natin from reputable sources. So, dapat babasahin natin. This one establishes credibility na talagang alam na alam natin yung ating research at talagang nag-conduct tayo ng research. Okay? Pangalawa, informs your research. This one guides the development of your research question, methodology, and analysis. Pangatlong importansya niya, it supports your argument. RRL is very important to support our argument because it provides pieces of evidence to support the importance and relevance of your research problem. Ayan, kasi kukuha na tayo ng mga evidence or pieces of evidence na nakandak or nakita sa mga previous studies na talagang ipapakita na talagang importante yung topic natin or yung relevance niya sa ating research problem. At ang pangapat, it identifies methodological approaches. This one helps you choose appropriate research methods based on what has been effective in the past studies. Siyempre, makikita natin sa mga previous studies, ito pala yung methodology na ginamit niya. Ganito pala yung research design na ginamit niya. Magkakaroon ka ng idea ngayon na, pwede pala to. Okay? What if gagamitin ko tong ibang research design? Pwede ka naman mag-contradict sa research design na ginamit before. For example, kung ang ginamit niya before ay comparative, non-experimental, comparative ang ginamit niya before. Ngayon naman, nakita mo naman try mo naman ng ex post facto. Okay, pwede naman siyang ganun. Pwede ka naman mag-iba ng research design. For example, before ginamitan niya ng experimental or non-experimental, ngayon naman gagamitan mo siya ng experimental. Pwede naman yun. Depende sa claims at depende kung paano mo isusupport yung study mo through related literature. Kaya ayan mga ka-learners, importante na meron tayong RRL sa ating study. Okay, moving forward. Siyempre, ito na yung pinakahihintay natin. Magbibigay ako ng example or example scenario para sa ating RRL. So, kung ready na, makinig na mabuti. So, example scenario, let me read it for you. If your research is about the impact of your school-based counseling on the mental health of high school students, your RRL might cover the following. Ito yung mga posibleng hahanapin natin or i-consider natin kung ganito yung klase ng topic na gusto natin sa ating research. Ito yun. Una, syempre, hahanapin natin, kasi sabi ko may 4 parts yung ating RRL. Ito yung 4 parts, dinivide ko siya. Una, previous studies on the school-based counseling. So, hahanap tayo, what have other researchers found about the effectiveness of counseling in school? Yan yung hahanapin natin. Hahanap tayo sa mga related studies, sa mga researchers conducted before, tapos babasahin natin yon. Tapos kung may nakita ka ng mga nakita nilang effectiveness ng counseling sa school, yun yung kukunin natin. Yun yung i-highlight natin sa unang part ng ating RRL. Pangalawa, hahanap din tayo ng theories of adolescent mental health. Siyempre, we are talking about high school. So, siyempre, adolescents na yung mga yan. So, hahanap tayo ng mga theories na related sa study natin kinakonduct. So, which psychological theories are relevant to understanding mental health in adolescents? Maraming mga psychological theories na yan. Pwede natin yung gawing model. Pangatlo, ano pa yung hahanapin natin? Mental health trends among adolescents. So, what are the current statistics or trends in adolescent mental health? Current status. based on the current situation right now, ano yung mga statistics or trends in adolescent mental health. And lastly, syempre, hanap tayo ng gaps in the literature. So, are there specific aspects of school-based counseling that have not been adequately studied? Meron pa bang areas or point of areas na hindi pa napag-aaralan or hindi pa na-focus ng previous researchers? So, kung meron ka nakitang ganun, yun yung pwede natin i-focus sa ating study. Yun yung pwede natin i-claim sa ating study. Okay? So, lagi lang natin tandaan mga ka-learners na by compiling and synthesizing information, your RRL will provide a comprehensive overview of the existing literature and lay the groundwork for your own research. Lagi natin itong tatandaan. Kaya importante mga ka-learners na meron tayong RRL. Ayan, so natapos na naman ang tutorial natin in this video. Sana may natutunan kayo about the review of related literature. So kung may comments kayo or suggestions or request na video tutorial na gusto nyong gawin natin, comment nyo lang sa comment section. At pwede nyo rin itong i-like at i-share sa mga kamukha ninyo na into research up to this moment. So thank you very much. God bless you. See you in our next video tutorial. God bless.